What's up, Cedric? Appreciate you joining us, Cedric. Appreciate your official David Polo for joining us tonight. Mark Mobley, appreciate you coming in tonight. Checking in for our show. Hey, Tiff is in the building. My girl, Tiffany Clifton, checking in. Nothing much said. Getting ready for a great show tonight. Got the man himself, Juice, James Black of Juice All Stars, North Carolina. He'll be here tonight. And another episode of Courtside Conversations. As more people start to come in. What's up, WD Bubba? WDB Bubba checking in. Where you from, Bubba? Let me know where you're from. As we let people pile in for the show tonight. We got a good show tonight. This, what's up, Kiger 103? This Courtside Conversations is getting pretty popular, and people are tuning in every week because we have some great guests and some great topics, and, you know, we're going to talk about it. You know, this is what we do here. So drop in the comments where you're from. Anytime today you have any questions for me or Coach Black, when he checks in, don't hesitate to let me know. Hey, Mary Francis, how you doing? Appreciate you checking in. Remember, I want you to drop in the comments where you're from so we know who all's in here. We got a great guest tonight that we'll be bringing in just a couple of minutes. Hartsville, Alabama is in the building tonight. Hartsville, Alabama. Who else is in here as they're starting to come in? Coach James Black is going to be our guest tonight. He'll be here in just a few minutes as we get ready for another episode of Courtside Conversations. Fizz gets bucks. Where you from? Hey, Jazane, Seymour, and E Boogie, where you from? Let me know where you're from as we get ready. I know that's fast. I see you, Fasayo. Raleigh, North Carolina. Braden checking in. We got Raleigh in the building. Braden checking in. Many of you know the guest we have tonight. He's been around a long time, and he's going to tell you his story and his journey and how he ended up here in North Carolina. Hey, Jackson, how you doing? Please drop in the comments where you're from. Long Island, New York is in the building. Boston, Massachusetts is in the building as they're starting to pile in for another great show again here tonight. Before we get into our guests for tonight, just want to let you know about our guest, Nashville, Tennessee, Long Island, New York, Raleigh, New York, Boston. Everybody's checking in here tonight. I'm appreciative every time you check in because there's a lot of lives going on and you could be with any of them, but we appreciate you being here with us. To Thursday night, this Thursday night, we got a legend also coming in here as we have on Thursday night. Coach Nicole Myers will be here Thursday night. We definitely want you to check in for that one. If you know girls hoops in North Carolina, you're going to want to be here Thursday night for Coach Nicole, as she is one of the legends here in North Carolina, year after year after year, coming into the state championships here in Raleigh and sending, more importantly, yes, Black, I know you're here. We'll bring you in right shortly. Nicole has year after year after year sent kids to college and runs one of the best programs here in North Carolina. So she'll be here Thursday night. Appreciate you checking in, Bill. We got about 2 more minutes before we bring Black in. Coach James Black. All right, Coach James Black. We got a lot of things to cover with Coach Black tonight. And it's going to be interesting to hear some of his perspectives and, some of his history. Carolina Elite, we appreciate you checking in. I know Charlotte, North Carolina is in the building, I see. Charlotte, Boston, Long Island, Nashville, Tennessee, Raleigh, they're all in the building. We're about to get started in just a minute here. And Also, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we have a new series that I'm excited about that will feature me. Um, and you will see, we'll release that tomorrow, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I think it'll be a great series. So we're about to get started. We got 1 minute before we bring in Coach Black. Remember, if you have any questions, down at the bottom, you'll see where the two boxes with the question marks in them. If you have any questions for Coach Black when we bring him in, anytime, put them in that box. So even as they roll by, they'll be saved, and we'll be able to ask Coach Black any of your questions. Um, we're going to go live with him and bring in the guy himself, Coach Black. All right, so we're about to get started with Coach Black, James Black. Coach Black.
What's up? What's up, Lamont? How you doing?
I'm good. How's my man doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How about yourself? How's the family?
Everybody's good, man. Just trying to stay safe and make it through this pandemic, and hopefully things will get back normal soon, and we'll be back rocking and rolling, and just trying to maintain. How about you and your family?
I'm ready. I'm ready for things to hopefully get back to normal. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Well, of course, I know who you are. In fact, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody that don't know who you are, but are interested in knowing who Coach James Black is?
Um. Born and raised in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Um. Played different amateur youth sports as a kid. Hold on, let me fix this. Fix this. I can't even see it. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in a household of athletics and different like music and different stuff around me. Like I gravitated to sports at a young age. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now you're from New York. I know a little bit about your story. Me and you've been knowing each other a long time. In fact, you were one of the first coaches that I met when I got in this. Coach Steve Boone introduced us a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to you. And during that time, we've had some conversations. But tell us a little bit about life for you in New York, and what happened and how you ended up here in North Carolina.
New York. From I go from like middle school. When I started my basketball career, my mother and father was incarcerated. My father got a life. My mother did about like 18 years prison, 18 years in prison. So my grandparents raised me, and my grandma was kind of older, so she wasn't familiar with the sports. So I played in like the Junior Knicks League, YMCA, AAU basketball, and as I got better and better, I started playing with the Panthers, coached by Gary Charles.
Okay.
So traveled all around the country. Uh, my sophomore year, things started picking up for me in high school. My junior year was supposed to be my breakout year, but during my junior year, I was involved in a bad incident where someone tried to take my life, and I had to defend myself, and I got arrested for attempted murder. So
Mm.
I went through that. Like I went on like I went on like I stayed away like for a good week or two, and then I went turned myself in. Um, Turned myself in. I had to sit down for a little bit. Then went through all the trial process and everything. My grandmother got me out, and then I beat the case. And I beat the case in self-defense, but it ruined my recruitment because after that, scouting college coaches still was like iffy because they was wondering like, when did he get involved with that type of situation? Even though
Mm.
I was 16 years old and the person was 31.
Mm.
So that killed my that killed me. But my high school coach stuck in there with me through it all. He stuck with
Okay.
he wanted to put me in a position where I can go to Marist College as a walk on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
everything was going fine, and then like uh during the process, you know how you go to summer school to get ready for the transition to school. So during the process, like I wanted to come back home on the weekend to go hang out with my friends at the party, but I think that was a bad decision. Being that close from Poughkeepsie, New York to New York, I just take the Metro North into the city and see my friends and family was kind of like bad for me because it was too easy for me to get home. And I left, which I should have stayed to go to a party. And my friends picked me up in the city. I took the train and got into a bad car accident, which left me paralyzed in my right hand and a plate in my head, and a wire here. So,
Wow.
yeah. So then after that, my AAU coach, Panthers, got me a job in IS 72 at the Beacon program. And then I started like working the after school program and then started coaching the AAU team.
Okay. Okay, good stuff. Now, I know you often talk about one of your mentors being Tiny Morton, right? For those that don't know who Tiny is, you know, just tell us who he is and what are some of the things you learned from him.
Tiny is in New York City in New York City collect. He has won 9 city championships as a coach. I want to say 2 or 4 state championships, and he also won a championship as a player. He was for a long time. Then, you know, he started the juice program, and he coached at Seton Hall. Then he went back to Lincoln, and now he's at the Patrick School with Jonathan Kaminga.
Okay. Okay. Now I know you mentioned he started the juice program, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did it become that you were able to bring it down here? Because it's really good program in New York. So how did you convince them that, hey, I want to take this down south?
So like how the whole juice program started was because of Sebastian Telfair.
Okay.
Had a lot of different shoe company teams in New York that was trying to get him. So like Adidas was heavily invested in Sebastian. So like they sponsored the Abraham Lincoln High School team, and then when Tiny decided to do his own program, they sponsored the juice program. So started playing all over nationally. So in 2000, I want to say 6 or 2005 or 2006, may have been later than that. My cousin, Daryl Showtime Hill, was at St. John. And he decided to enter the NBA draft. So his mother and his sister and them drove down here. So we thought it was in best interest to leave New York and to come down here so he could start training for attractions. So we moved to North Carolina. I was only supposed to stay for the summer. So he went undrafted and kind of going overseas. So it was time for me like to go back to New York. And then like for some reason, like God just put everything for me to stay. Like I had got a at the facility where we was working at, because we was living in Hedingham, and the athletic director of the Fred Smith company, he offered me a job at Hedingham. And it was like I was working the front desk, got a cleaning contract with them, and he started letting me train kids and work them out by the gym. And then I was running a program first called Showtime All Stars. So then I talked with Tiny. I was like, Tiny, I want to get ahead and branch the program in North Carolina as well. He was like, why not? What I do is every circuit that we go in, we'll put y'all in as well, but y'all will go as like an independent team, but you still playing the same stuff that we play. So it went from there. He just had his blessings. Like I came up to New York, picked up the uniforms, and brought them back to North Carolina. Started rolling with the Juice North Carolina program.
Okay. Okay. Now, and you've been quite successful. I've known, now the last 10 years, and you've been quite successful. Who are some of your more successful kids that you've had, over the years?
A lot of them stand out to me, but like from like who started making noise quick was like when I first started the juice program from the transition from Showtime. You had Roger Ray that stood out. He wound up being CIAA Player of the Year this year, and also Hot Box Division II National Player of the Year as well. Then I also had Robert Cologne, who won the CIAA championship and got MVP and was Rookie of the Year. Then, we had Blake Harris. He blew up quick with us. Had Damon Harris Jr.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
One kid you took a liking to early was Dominic Douglas.
Yes, I like Dominic.
Had Jalen McCoy, Myquan Gooding, Jawan Wright.
Yeah, Jawan. Yep. Jawan at Village Christian. Yeah.
Who else? And then as they started getting older, out of that group had Tremaine Lawrence. That was at Quality with Coach Pitt.
Okay.
Aaron Cash and them. It's a lot, that list, because you was there for all of them. So you saw all of them.
Yeah, I remember all those kids. That brings back memories there. So how many kids you think in your program have gone on to play college basketball? If you had to throw a number out there.
Me and Tiny did the numbers. If you combine New York and North Carolina together, over 450 kids that went to college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we got something on a link, and out of all our kids, it's over $2 million worth of scholarship our kids receive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now that's impressive and something that you really should speak about, because a lot of programs concentrate on wins and championships, but lose sight of the ultimate goal is to get those kids in school. And we've all shared and being talked about and lied on and that type of stuff, people trying to tear us down at what we do. How have you been able to maintain and keep working your way through despite what people say?
What helped me is my basketball operations, Don Johnson. He's been there with me for a long time. Don handles all my financial stuff. He let me know what I can do, what I can't do, what is a good idea, what not to do. Then also having older men like yourself, you'll come to the gym and just pop up on me and check on me, see how I'm doing, give me insight of things that you hearing or different areas that I need to get better at, and being able to take the criticism and but it comes from people like yourself and Don and Christopher Noble's dad, who always keep me balanced.
Yeah, it's good to have a good support group. That's key. We've always, and speaking of support, we've always gotten your support, and your kids over the years have always attended our events, whether it's the middle school events, the high school events. You've always seemed to bring your kids, and knowing that you could take your kids to, you have enough talent in your kids that you can take them to any of the camps you want to go to. Why, I want to ask, just for me and for the people, why do you continue coming to Get Me Recruited events and you can go anywhere?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And I hope he doesn't get upset with me, because it's two people that I really like out here. It's you and Rick Lewis, right? I even remember at a time when things were rough with y'all, and you never said nothing negative about him. You always kept it positive, but you always made me see the bigger picture at the end of the tunnel. And the other day I made a comment, and I think he took it the wrong way. But me, Lamont, I'm a truth teller. It's on my heart. So
right.
The key thing with me would Get Me Recruited, would always attach me to you, is that, and there's no knock or disrespect to nobody. I could have a 5-star player, 4-star, 3-star player, 2-star, 1-star, a 0-star player. It didn't matter what type of player I had, even when I didn't have nothing going on. As the owner of Get Me Recruited, the head person in charge, you always showed your face in my gym. You didn't just send your assistant or just to go there to make it look good. You genuinely came to pop up on me and checked on me. Other people don't come. They may at the time see people that work for them, but then how you think I feel when I find out that the head person is at Durham's Hurricane Open Gym? You at this one open gym, you at this one, but I'm paying thousands of dollars to play in your events, and you can't just you're in there. That means more to me than you doing a write up for me. This is for my kids to see you. and then you also come and you talk to my kids.
Yeah. Well, that's always been important to me because you know as well as I do is you know how I feel. It's bigger than basketball. And if you're not involved with us, you probably won't know that or believe that. But, you know, me, I'll drop in on your practice and just say, hey, act like I'm not here. I'll sit in the corner and just watch. And sometimes when your practice is over, you know, I got players like Saquon that I'll pull to the side. Let me have a conversation with you. You know, some things that I saw. And to be honest with you, half the time it's not even about basketball. You know what I mean? And those things mean more to me about making productive citizens. Everybody can't make a living off of basketball. So we need to teach them how to survive outside of the basketball life. That's what has always been a yearning of mine is to, you know, basketball is great and you can make a career at that or you may not. But even if you make a career out of it, one day the ball is going to stop bouncing, right? So what are you doing to prepare yourself for that? You and I both had a great relationship with a young man by the name of Mikey Maddox. You know, some call him the boogeyman because he could boogie. And he was special to us and you as well. He showed out at my events, and I seen him playing for the Juice All Stars, and this kid could really go. For those that don't know him, you know, you and I both have memorandum in Mikey's name. You know, tell us why Mikey. Not only why Mikey was special, but why kids like him are special. You know, why do we do what we do is because of the Mikeys. Why don't you explain a little bit about Mikey?
Mikey is originally from New York. He moved down, you know, him and his mother and him down in Charlotte. Like I have so much similarity in Mikey. Like he has a single mother who busted his tail. She busted her tail for him, and me and Mikey had like a love-hate relationship at times because I was more trying to distance him, and Mikey was not that. He was not that type of kid. Like Mikey was respectful, but he just was going, and he had a big heart, and he also didn't know how to say no to people. So like I love with Mikey. I originally seen Mikey with Team Charlotte. Then a couple of years after that, I went to a camp at the 60. So I'm watching him. I'm like, man, talented. So then I get a phone call from Said from Team United, and Said was like, Black, no, Coach Belt from Moravian Prep hit me up and was like, hey, Mikey's not playing with anybody right now. And I was like, what's going on? He said, I ain't gonna get into it. Mikey just ain't playing right now. And I had told Coach Belt, I said, my exact words on I said, shit. I said, Mikey talented. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I would have put up with this. So then Belt was like, yo, Mikey mother gonna bring him up to your workout. I seen Mikey come up and work out, and I just seen like the energy, like he can peak, like he go after his teammates, he talk, jump to them, play hard. So then me and Tasha talked, and Tasha was like, yo, Coach Black, I'm gonna bring him, man. I'm gonna bring him. He gonna play with you. So then like Jeff McGinnis and Jay would call me every time, just check on me about Mikey. Mikey was just hard nosed, man. Like he was very talented. Like Mikey, if once he got the academic part down pat, this kid could have played anywhere. He was special. He was special. He was special. But like I spent more time of trying to like over discipline him, and he didn't really need that. Like what Mikey needed more was a hug, or like if you know that you got his back 100%, he's gonna go all out for you. So it was right. Trying to change him a little bit, but it wasn't really no change that really needed to be made. It was more like mentorship him and just guide him in certain ways. And then it came to a point where I know he loved basketball, but he was getting confused. I had a couple of talks like he didn't know it was the music, did he do both? But he had opportunity to be real special, man.
He did, and he left this earth way too soon, and we all miss Mikey tremendously. Great kid, great kid. I don't want to talk about him too much. It just touches me a lot because, you know, I know his story and I know, you know, his heart, and that was what was important to me. You know, the All-Stars, you know, hopefully we'll have a season or some salvage of a season left. Let's say the season started 2 weeks from now. Where's Juice going? What you got on the schedule?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and some people are gonna be like, "Wow, I can't believe he said this." I've been tournament directors have been reaching out to me, and you know, I done basically like paid for like all our stuff for the whole year. So some of them saying that if we don't have a season, they will credit it for the following season. But to be honest with you, Lamont, like I've been praying, I'm scared to put them to play.
Mm.
So it's like I you know I'm looking at different things. I've been praying on it. Like I just still don't feel safe. And I know I know you believe it in, but like Lamont, you know, like for me to shut like 20 something years, it's the first time I had a break. And I'm not knocking no other trainers or whatever. I've been seeing guys still work out and do certain things. I couldn't do it because I have seen several family members and friends pass away from the coronavirus. My uncle Dave Edwards that played for Georgetown passed away from the coronavirus. You know, like so it's touchy with me. Like I'm scared, even though I want to get back out there to play. I'm scared too for the kids to play.
So you mentioned your uncle had it, right?
Yeah.
So for those people that do not believe it's real, what you say to them?
You gotta look at what I went through in my program. One of the people that I named my team after, Sebastian Telfair, he lost his brother, and then like almost like 30 days later, he lost his mother. And then back and nephews and brother-in-laws in my program, like they played Juice, North Carolina. Like it hit home. So I have the Telfair family that lost their family, their mother and their brother. I lost uncles and cousins and friends. I'm scared. You know, I'll be
No.
like I'm scared.
Yeah, I didn't know that about Sebastian, man. I really didn't know that. That's tough, man.
This
That's tough.
his mother's funeral was just last week.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh man.
he lost his brother like 20 days before, and then like maybe a week later, his mother passed away.
Mm. Well, if you don't have a season, you know, I guess we got to find other ways to you know reach out. And you do a real good job at reaching out to me, other scouts and college coaches. You're one of the most active directors probably out there. Um, what are some of the top players? If you had to name the top 3 players that you say, hey, either these are the ones, or if there's 2 or 3 that we don't know about that we should know about in the program.
I can go on both because you know I'm also the head coach of the academy team at Word of God. We won the national championship this year. So
Okay.
from my high school program, I'm gonna go from my high school program to my age. On my academy team, I have these 2 twins, Kanayo and Kenichi. They're special. They're about
Yeah.
6'7". Lamont, I mean, they're getting better and better. I think that these kids, at the end of the day, they can play Division I college basketball. If not, they can play at the highest level on the D2 side of it as well. They got a lot of potential. Um, then I also have this white kid on my team named Eric. I mean, he can shoot piss off the ball. He can hit really good. Then on the AAU side of it, I have some underclassmen that's in the 2022 class that would play. I was gonna play 17U this year. I got this 6'6" guard by the name of Dylan. Dylan Purnell. He definitely needs to be in your camp. Then I also have another kid by the name of Nathan that goes to middle. I have a guard by the name of Sincere at Roseville. A guard from Fuquay, sophomore, that was gonna play up named Damon Brown. In my younger group, I have Shane Anthony, which is Lance Anthony brother.
I remember Lance. Yeah.
Shane can shoot the ball. AJ Nancy on my younger group. Then on my babies, my 14-year-old, I have Sebastian Nephew. I have NBA J, NBA J,
Okay.
Little
Yeah.
J. And then I have athletic kids quality education that's on that team. Like I got a good group of kids, but the one who I think is gonna shock a lot of people would be the 6'6" guard that I have named Dylan. Yeah, he's special.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to definitely, you know, it's me. I'll be in the gym, so I'll definitely check him out and let you point him out to me. Now, everybody's talking right now about, you know, Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd deciding to forego college and take the, you know, the pro path program and get the money. What's your thoughts on it?
I've been hearing both sides of it, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it like this. Um, from what I'm hearing, that the NBA G League is still going to pay for those kids to go to college and
Yeah.
still get their education. And then I'm hearing, like, I was sitting down like with a financial advisor, and they was telling me, say if they do get 500,000, whatever the case would be, they said after their insurance, taxes, everything, they walking away like with 240. 240
Mm-hmm.
to play for 1 year, possibly in the development league and go to the NBA. Why not? A good opportunity for them. You know, so
Yeah.
like, I always thought that you go to college to get a job. You know, so if you got an opportunity to get better in the craft that you love and get paid for it and still get your education, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know,
I,
I think it's gonna make college change a lot of different things, how you deal with these kids.
you think it'll have a major impact on college basketball?
Yes and no, because the college experience for a kid is great too. You know, like I enjoyed that 1 year in college, and I enjoyed high school. I love the school atmosphere. I think college basketball is still going to be solid, but I do think it's going to also force those top prospects to where that they may not even go to the NBA G League no more if they open the rule that you go straight out of high school.
Mm,
So then
true that.
what happens, Lamont, if they do say you go straight out of high school? Is that going to affect the NBA G League?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your
No,
take on it?
it's definitely going to be interesting to see um, where this leads to. I think they got a lot of variables they got to put together, and you know, I don't feel sorry for the NCAA at all because they've had years to get this right, and they haven't put forth any effort whatsoever, other than say we're not going to give you anything and leave it there. Um, you know, today we live in a social media age. Everything's about social media. You know, you're a social media king yourself. A lot of these kids start out early, you know, becoming phenoms and you know, and getting all this media attention and so many likes, and they do this and do this. What's your thoughts about a kid becoming a social media sensation like early, and do you think it affect, you know, their skill level or their confidence or anything of the like when they get older?
That's a great question because I'm gonna throw a name at you. He just reached out to me yesterday, and I'm helping him now find a junior college. I'm gonna go back to a kid that I coached and I loved him, and he had a great work effort, good kid. But I don't know if it came back. I feel like sometimes it came back to backfire on him. And the kid I'm talking about is Damon Hart Jr.
Remember him very clearly. Remember him very clearly.
I just spoke with Damon last night, which I'm helping him now find a junior college. Um, you know, Damon was getting almost like a million. He was
Yeah.
getting so many different views, but you know, he's a workaholic. You know, he stayed in the gym, he worked, and sometimes I think the media attention hurted him too because it was too much of like trying to compare him to Kyrie Irving. Remember
Mm.
Kyrie Irving was coming to his games and that pressure to live up that expectation. You know, I think the social media is good and is bad. It depends on how you use it. You know, because like
Mm.
I have made mistakes with social media too. You know,
Mm.
and then you have to remember anything you put up there always get there for the rest of your life.
That's
And
true.
and I know a lot of coaches and scouts they judge your character through your social media too. You know,
Yeah.
I learned that from you too when you speak to the kids and stuff like that. They say like the social media sometimes determines your character and who you are by the things you post and put up. And
Right. Right.
I think some younger kids that some parents need to monitor more on the social media what they're putting up there. But
Well, you know, well, it's funny you said that. But what about the kids that their parents are the ones that's putting all that content up there?
yo, that's yo, yeah, that's good that you said that. I seen this year. some parents was going at it on social media with each other, and you mean we both know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was very
Yeah.
shocked because like I seen two parents going at it, and to me, both their kids. I think it's harsh. It's harsh. I mean, but the parents gotta realize this too. These coaches and scouts watch you too. GMs watch.
Absolutely.
They don't
Absolutely.
like the things you put up there. If your kid is a pro prospect, can hurt him in
Yeah.
type of business opportunities. You
Yeah.
want you to stand right.
Yeah. No, I just heard a college coach, reiterate a couple weeks ago and say, I recruit parents too.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize that sometimes when they get out of pocket. You and I have both seen some pretty rough situations. In fact, we're talking to you from New York. Just for the last summer, I was at an event, and when I tell you two New York programs were going at each other on Instagram, like it was like unbelievable, like they wanted to come to blows and violence, and it was just crazy. And I'm thinking, mind you, this was the sixth grade coaches where I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So just think about that. We're talking about sixth grade coaches and what kind of examples they are. So social media I think can be good, but like you said, it can really be negative if using in the same way. And if you're a parent and you're acting a certain way on social media, what do you think your kids are going to do? You know what I mean? And the worst thing I've seen is using the kids' Instagram to vent and talk and so forth. And it's just ridiculous sometimes. But going back to the kid, as far as, being young and being social media famous, I just had Julian Newman on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about that as well. I think sometimes it put, like you said, that pressure that Damon felt, it puts pressure on them sometimes to continuously perform. You're asking a lot of a young kid to not only be in the spotlight, but be, open to ridicule and evil and all these type of things instead of just, concentrating on the craft. But that's just me. That's their prerogative to do it however they want to.
But
But speaking of,
imagine that's because imagine this though, Lamont. And I was thinking about this because I got a question for you too, but I want to ask you this. Like, say in the era of the social media now, right? And you talk about that pressure, and sometimes it breaks them. So I watched like my mentor, Tiny, right? Like, imagine if social media was as big as it was when Sebastian Telfair was out, and he was like a rock star. Sebastian,
right?
like Jay-Z,
Yep.
Despacito, all of the
Yep.
he has a classic movie, Through the Fire, and for him to live out through all of that pressure, that's
Yeah.
hard. But
It's
imagine,
hard, man.
imagine if he also had social media at that time going on. How hard
Yeah.
that for him to maintain that.
Yeah. No, it definitely plays a role. You want to be popular and famous, but there's a lot that come with that. You know. But speaking of crazy things, your guy, my guy, Lance Stevenson. He's he's a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. You've been around him just as much as anybody, but I want to know from you give me one crazy story about Lance that you remember.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's not really even crazy because all right, put it like this: but behind closed doors, Lance is a big kid. Lamont, like he's a big kid. Like, he like to have fun, but
Right.
that when it's time to play, just another side of him come out, like that competitive nature. Like, he's a big kid. Like, I remember, and it wasn't crazy. It was more fun. One year we in Las Vegas, Mrs. Stevenson, mother pool party for the kids, and just to see him, I think Nobles and them was in the 8th grade. Uh, he took them, worked them out all week at Impact Sport over into the house, just to see them in the pool, fighting and horse playing around. And then like whenever we have games and we in town, like any of the kids that got the best GPA average, he give them tickets to come to the game. And then also the time that he spent with Roger Ray meant a lot to me. He had Roger Ray in Vegas, Impact Sport, working out with him when he was in Charlotte in the house playing the video game with him. Like, it's nothing really crazy. Like, he's more of a homebody.
That's crazy.
You would
That's
think,
pretty funny.
because if you look at Lamont, you would think the opposite, because
Right.
you never heard no off the court issues with him. He's
Right.
a family body kid. But
That's good to hear.
But I had a question for you, and I talked to Charles the other day, right? And I talked to Rick Lewis, and I consider you like a vet and an OG, right? So many high school coaches and AU coaches, the knock on us is that we can't work together, we argue, we fight, we steal kids, do all this other stuff, so much stuff that go on with us. But the other day I had a conversation, and I never seen you go. Maybe you have gone through this, but not really. I, People don't realize how value the scouting services like you, Rick, and other are to these kids, right? I didn't know that it was so much tension between the scouting services. Why do they argue and they go through the same stuff that some of the high school and A coaches go through? Like, what is it that, like, it can't be a round table discussion where all y'all guys get together and talk?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm one of the few that I feel that pretty much get along with all of them. Surprisingly to people, that something they don't know is Rick Lewis and I probably talk once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't realize that. And there's been a rumor that we've been beefing for years, and it's just not true. And me and Rick talks all the time about it. Now, for some of his counterparts, I can't say the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm an old school guy, so if I don't fool with you, I just don't fool with you. That's just who I am. But you know, Charles Clark and you know, Miles and all those guys, those young guys, I look Gray. You know, I encourage them guys to keep moving on, because, you know, the guys that work with me, you know, Pop and Trey and, you know, Bell and all of those guys, Sean, my classmate from when I was in middle school, I encourage them to keep going on, because I know I'm not always going to be here. Mm-hmm. So for years, I've always tried to get everybody together, AAU teams, scouts together, because at the end of the day, I think why you find so much negative energy, it comes down to numbers, and it comes down to money to some degree, trying to get kids and so forth. I've just been lucky enough that hasn't been a focus of ours, so we're not really in the middle of it. What I've learned is, you know, you see me post a lot on social media, mm-hmm. but if you ask any of my staff, I don't scroll to see what everybody else is doing. And it's not to be disrespectful, or I'm not saying that I'm not nosy or any of that. It's just that I'm so focused on what I need to do that I really don't have time to pay attention to what it just doesn't concern me. So, you know, hopefully, you know, we'll all be able to get together. And like I said, I've talked to several AAU programs over the last few months during this pandemic about that very thing. So, you know, those conversations are going on. And you're a staple in the community, and I think you would have a good say in that. And because you're you, what is next for Coach Black? Like, you know, outside of basketball or inside basketball, do you have aspirations to be a college coach? Do you want to be a professor? What do you want to do next?
To be honest, I had a long talk with Tiny. Like Tiny always threw it in my head to like what I want to come back home and finish my career home. And then also what I want to do is for the next couple of years, maybe three, I say it from a 3 to 5 year range, I want to get a good group of young guys together, and I want to like mentor them and show them the way, like how I was taught, like when I watched Gary Charles and Tiny and Curtis Malone and all those guys. I want to get a good core group together, mentor them, train, and I want to turn the program over to them. And then I also got a couple of options to sign with an NBA agency, an agent as well. So that's something that's on my table now. Because right now, like some of my plays that do turn professional, like I don't make no decisions for them. Like, I help them and go through the process with them, stuff or what they're gonna pick, and you know. But I have presented a couple of situations to work for a couple of agencies as well. So like what I want to do, because once you go fully into an agent, you can't work with the kids anymore. I want to be able to leave the Duke, North Carolina to a good group of young men that can run it and let it live on. Because I'm really thinking in the next 3 to 5 years to step in this to be a sports agent.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, before we let you go tonight, you're a New York guy, right? So you know your New York basketball, or do you? So what we're going to do is this Trivia Tuesdays. We're going to see how much you know about your New York City Ballers, right? All right, let's start here. Kid was out of Jamaica, Queens, Cardozo High School.
Ray for Austin.
Who is it?
Ray for Austin.
So you say Ray for Austin. New York played at Truman and Oak Hill, Kentucky, where he went to school, and he's the godfather of Kyrie Irving. Oh boy. You got to know your New York guys. You got to know your New York guys.
From the Bronx. Oh, where's Spoons at when I need him? Spoon, where you at, Spoon, when I need him?
With the Truman, he played at Kentucky. That's your biggest hint. Played at Kentucky, and he's the godfather of Kyrie Irving. We gonna let Spoon have that one.
Rod Strickland.
We're gonna go for 6 for 6. We're gonna go 6 for 6 since you had a little help from my man Spoon in the building. All right, here we go. Coney Island, another one. Lincoln High School, McDonald's All-American, and he goes by Born Ready.
Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson, your man. Lance Stevenson is that guy. All right. We got two more. Black. Here we go. He's out of Manhattan, Powell Memorial Academy, NBA's all-time leading scorer. Easy. Too easy. Easy.
Not Kareem.
Lou Alcindor Kareem,
Kareem. Woo, I almost messed that up.
All right, here we are in the last one. Here's the last one. All right, you ready? Here we go. This is for all the marbles here. He's out of Manhattan, New York. He's LaSalle Academy. He was Elton Brand and Lamar Odom's teammates in AAU, and he goes by the name of Meta World Peace.
Ron Crazy Artest.
Ron Artest it is. This man knows his New York basketball. He knows it, but hold on. We talked a little earlier, right? About social media. Now, Black, you are one of the social media stars, as I said, right? So we got to ask you, this is what everybody want to know. My staff asked me, I got people asking me, I'm always getting notifications, Black is live. What's up with the live videos? Like, you be going live. Hold on, I got some examples here. Hold up. We got you brushing your hair. We got you brushing your beard. Like you live brushing your beard, man. Like, yo, like, what's up with, hold up, this is one of my favorites. He's eating shrimp. Live.
Oh my God.
Like this guy's eating shrimp live. Like, this is his video. Is live. He's eating shrimp. Right? Who does that? Hold on. How about this one? This is one of my favorites. Incense. We blow incense on video. Like, people want to see you blow incense on video. like, okay, now, hold on. And then, because he's a New Yorker and a flosser, he's got to blow with the Moet and the cigar, the kingpin of New York. This guy is the kingpin of New York. So I still say my favorite is probably eating the shrimp. I'm not quite sure how that what I'm confused by that. But that's
Oh
Black
no.
all day. If you don't know Black, if you don't know Coach Black, then you're not friends with him, because he's gonna go live at all times and you're gonna see everything he do. He's gonna brush his beard live. He's gonna brush his beard live. He's gonna blow incense. He's gonna drink Moet. He's gonna do everything live. So Black, we appreciate you being here. There's no other one like Black. That's my guy. We appreciate you coming.
No.
We appreciate
I
you coming.
appreciate you. That was a good one, Lamont.
My man.
All right.
Hey, man, appreciate you again, man. If you need me, give me a call.
All right.
All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to tell you before we let you go, that was great with Coach Black. Before I let you go, Thursday, we got Coach Nicole Myers of Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. If you know anything about girls basketball, you know she's a legend. You know, if out of the East, she's going to be in the championship year after year. So we're really excited about having her Thursday. So stick around Thursday. We'll have her at 8 p.m. right here for another edition of Courtside Conversations. I want to